Hello, first graders. We have a new symbol that we're going to start learning about today, and that is the Liberty Bell. So I'm going to read you the book, and then we'll do a little bit of writing about the Liberty Bell. This is one of our American symbols. There's the table of contents. What is the Liberty Bell? The Liberty Bell is a very large bell. It is kept in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. It doesn't ring like a regular bell because it is cracked. And you can see on the map, that little red dot, that's where it is right there. And let's find Colorado. Here's Colorado over here. That's pretty far from us. The Liberty Bell is a symbol of the freedom all Americans enjoy. It helps people remember the day that the Declaration of Independence was first read aloud. And you can see the bold words right there, symbol, right? Because we're learning about symbols, and the Declaration of Independence. Looking at the Liberty Bell. The Liberty Bell is made of copper, tin, silver, gold, and other metals. It hangs on a wooden yoke. This is the yoke right here because it's really heavy. Think about what other American symbol you know that is made partially out of copper. Here's a hint. We did a science experiment with some pennies. Think about what metal that was. Bodhi came to say hi. Say hi. Say hi, kids. Oh, kisses. Thank you. Thank you. Say hi, kids. Yeah. You want to learn about the Liberty Bell, Bodhi? Okay. You can learn with us about the Liberty Bell. He wants to learn with us about the Liberty Bell. Okay. So if you came up with copper, that's the one I was thinking about, that the Statue of Liberty is also made of copper. There are words and dates on the bell. The words are from the Bible. They tell about freedom for all people. Do you guys see the big crack in the bell? There's a big crack in the bell. A famous shape. The Liberty Bell's shape is famous. There have been cookie jars, teapots, and even a hot air balloon in the shape of the Liberty Bell. The Liberty Bell has been on stamps and money. One of the first space capsules was called the Liberty Bell 7. Bodhi thinks that's tasty. That's tasty. Okay. Yes, kisses. Visiting the Liberty Bell. Millions of people visit the Liberty Bell each year. It is part of the Independence National Historic Park. It can be seen any time of day or night. And look, people are touching it. The Liberty Bell is in a park across the street from Independence Hall. It was moved to its new home in 1976 on our country's 200th birthday. So there is Independence Hall. Ringing the bell. The Liberty Bell is struck at very important times. In 1996, it was struck to celebrate Dr. Martin Luther King's birthday. The Liberty Bell has sounded at other times too. At the end of World War II, the bell was struck. People around the United States listened to the sound on the radio. So when they say that it was struck, it just means that they hit it with something and it makes the sound. A bell for Philadelphia. 300 years ago, there were no telephones, radios, or televisions. People gathered when they heard a bell ring, and then someone would read important news out loud. Every town had a bell, but Philadelphia was the capital of Pennsylvania, and it was a very important city. So the colonists of Pennsylvania wanted a very large bell for their state house. Making the Liberty Bell. No one in the colonies could make a big bell. The colonists had to order it from England. This modern picture shows how the bell was cast in a hole dug in the ground. So look, this is melted metal. Super hot. It kind of looks like lava, doesn't it? I think these are the buckets, metal buckets, right? And they're pouring it. First, a mold for the bell was made. The words on the bell were part of the mold. Liquid metal was poured into the mold. Bells are still made this way today. So think about if you have ever made Jell-O at your house before, and at first it's a liquid, and then you pour it into the mold and you put it in the refrigerator, and then when it's done, you flip it upside down and it takes the shape of the mold, and that's like this bell. The first crack. In 1752, the bell was sent to Philadelphia. It was taken to Independence Hall. The people wanted to hear the bell ring, but when it rang, it cracked. The very first time it cracked. Two men named Pass and Stowe melted down the bell and they made a new one. But people did not like its sound. The men had to start over. The third bell is the one that we have today. And you can see right here on the bell, it says Pass and Stowe. Important news. On July 4th, 1776, the Congress met in Philadelphia and they adopted the Declaration of Independence. It said that the colonies would become one independent country. So that's an important date in history, right? That is the day that we became independent, and that's why every year on the 4th of July, we celebrate our country's independence. On July 8, 1776, the Liberty Bell rang to call the colonists to Independence Hall. A man read the Declaration of Independence out loud. Wartime. The colonists fought the Revolutionary War against Britain to become independent. During the war, the British captured the city of Philadelphia. The colonists moved all of the bells out of the city. A farmer took the Liberty Bell to Allentown, Pennsylvania, and it was hidden in a church. After the war, it was taken back to Philadelphia. So that was pretty smart of them that they knew that that would be something that might be taken, so they hid it. They hid the bell. The famous crack. In 1835, the Liberty Bell cracked while it was ringing. Workers tried to fix the crack by filing down the edges. In 1846, the Liberty Bell rang to celebrate George Washington's birthday. A big zigzag crack raced up the bell. It was ruined and it could never ring again. Instead, it was put on display at Independence Hall. You can see that's a really big crack right there. The Liberty Bell on tour. The Liberty Bell has traveled thousands of miles. During the 1800s, it traveled by train to New Orleans, Chicago, and Atlanta. Later, it traveled to Boston and St. Louis. You can see it right there. In 1915, the Liberty Bell went on its very last tour. It was taken to San Francisco for a huge fair. Crowds of people came to see it, and then it was taken home to Independence Hall. In the past, before 1839, the Liberty Bell was called the State House Bell. Then a picture of the bell was used on a booklet about freedom for slaves. The booklet called it the Liberty Bell. The men who made the first bell spelled Pennsylvania wrong. Even though the bell was cast again, no one changed the spelling, and today it is still spelled wrong, and it says Pennsylvania with only one N. So if you look right here, there's only one N, but if you look right here, it's supposed to have two N's. Nobody noticed that they made a spelling mistake. Here's the fact file. The Liberty Bell weighs as much as a pickup truck. The crack in the Liberty Bell is almost as long as a yardstick. You know the big, like we have our rulers in the classroom, and then the big one, right? That's a yardstick. That's like 3 rulers put together. The bell's clapper is as long as a baseball bat. The clapper is the little part on the inside that what goes around and makes it ding. It weighs as much as a small child. That's you. The clapper weighs as much as you. The yoke for the Liberty Bell is made of a wood called slippery elm. So that's a kind of a tree. So in some interesting facts, you can be thinking about what 3 were your favorite that you want to write about today. I hope that you liked this book. I'll see you next time. Keep reading.